Hey guys, so bit of a different one today. We're going to look at these things. Um, I went to see a customer that was having Wi-Fi problems about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I actually found one of these in the flesh. Now, those of you that have problems with spam, you'll have seen this message before. It's one of the more common spam messages, and a lot of you will have seen these advertised on the bottom of fairly reputable sites. I mean, we found these on the bottom of sites like Vanity Fair, various local news sites. They even occasionally turn up on some of the mainstream media sites, and they are a scam, a complete scam. So I've got one here. The next part of the video we'll tear into it and have a look at it and see just how bad it really is. But at the moment, we're just going to have a look at the story for my customer. So I have this customer lives in a very bad service area as far as any form of broadband is. We've struggled to get them up to about 4 meg. We're now looking at 4G and satellite as options for them. But as many people of a certain age that don't necessarily know much about technology do, they got sucked in by one of these adverts at the bottom of a reputable website. And I must stress that again, these are on reputable websites. This isn't scouring around the dregs of the web. These are on places that you should trust. I did want to find you some examples of them, and it appears that this particular scam may have run its course. Because we're now doing with the evaporative air coolers, which might be something I'll touch on. I have no particular desire to go all Thunderfoot, but yeah, we might do a little bit of an experiment with them. Back to these. So he brought this thing, plugged it in, and surprise, surprise, it did nothing. The instruction manual that comes with it looked vaguely suspicious, and the actual units themselves look suspicious. So I sorted his problem out, and I said to him, I'll take these away. I'll take the one that's been plugged in for God knows how long, because it's gone yellow and doesn't actually have a power light away as well. And then installed a new pair and actually solved the problem he was having with his TV downstairs. But I thought it would be nice to dig into this one. So these are generally what you get. The email arrives like this. And then let's just get rid of that. You can either go and search. I searched for Wi-Fi boosters, and it brought up these lovely things here. This is supposedly a independent site, and they are charging, well, up to 100 quid for these things. This one, incidentally, is actually a genuine one. I'm not quite sure why they're doing it the way they are. Let's have a look down here. Yeah, so what we have here is this is a genuine one. It's not one I'd particularly buy. And then we're into the known brands, the good stuff. Now these are the ones I would actually buy, especially the TP-Link, the Republic of Gamers ones, and even the WavLink isn't that bad. But these two are junk, and this is how they work. Top pick, this is where they're making their money from. Now if we look at the link we got in the email, we've got a horribly obfuscated link. Actually, it's not that bad. It's not the one that was actually I was looking at in the first place. But you've got the same thing. Wi-Fi Xtraboost. About it, it's very well, it's not even particularly slick site, but you know, you've got all of this stuff, and yes, it'll make a massive difference. Buy. And if we go and click buy now, we have actually now gone somewhere else. We're no longer on that main site, and this is where the scammy bits come in. So you've got the usual. You'll get a discount if you buy now. You must buy now, and you can buy 3 of them for 103, 2 of them for 74, and so on and so on. This is a secure site. Is it actually a secure site? Yes, it is. Can we have a look at it? Verified by Amazon. Whoa. And yeah, verified by the usual suspects as well. I very much doubt it is. In fact, can we view the certificate? Let's have a look. So we're looking for a certificate from any of those 3. There's not much point in really digging in, but yeah, verified by Amazon. So yeah, we'll ignore that. Now, what happened with my customer is my customer went through, they bought one of these, they paid about 100 quid for it, I believe. Um, and then the reoccurring billing started. And you can't get hold of these people, which should be not entirely surprising. And the card company struggled as well with COVID-19 going on at the moment. But he's been billed a good couple of £100 now. Yes, this is a recurring billing. They don't actually really mention this fact. We got anything interesting down here? Support and facts. Oh, here we go. So, just a quick look around. There's nothing here. That's just opened up Outlook. Terms of service. This is all pretty generic. Operated by Agile Tech, Republic of Lithuania. So yeah, good luck getting hold of them. But yeah, there's everything in here screams run away, run away, run away. We've got a phone number up there. Categories, best selling. Oh, this is good. So I mentioned the chiller. There we go. There we've got that here. So these are all the scammy crap. These, I believe, has been torn apart by Big Clive because they're just lethal. Better sleep. Home electronics. Yeah, this really is. And it's the same stuff. So this will be the tactical watch. This will be the fit watch. These are all the things you get the spam about. So anyway, back to this. So you're paying £80 for this. So how much are they actually worth? Well, there you go. £3.93. This is Wish. So obviously you need to add your postage onto it, but it won't be that much. Or £7 for the Super Wi-Fi Boost. Or is that the extra? I don't know. Well, you can have two of them for £7. And as you can see, yeah. Now, networking gear from Wish, not generally a good idea. Not if you want it to perform. We have bought stuff from Wish, but it's generally stuff that we're going to go use in a field. The life expectancy of it is short. I mean, at £3.95, when it gets eventually run over by a tractor, you don't really care. But there's always a safety question with a lot of this stuff as well. So, yeah. So there's your first rip-off. You could buy these for a lot less money. And generally, a lot of the issues that plague people with Wi-Fi around the building is very, very little to actually do with the Wi-Fi signal. Well, yeah, it is a Wi-Fi signal, but it's more the router that's normally the problem. A lot of routers supplied by telcos are scraping the absolute bottom of the barrel, and I would say probably about 99% of these problems that we get with customers with Wi-Fi we solve by buying a decent router, nothing else. So we've got this thing here, and apparently you plug it in. It is a wireless repeater. They claim to just work out the box. They don't. When you actually get the box, it contains a little leaflet telling you how to go in and configure it manually, which is going to be beyond a lot of people that are going to go out and buy these, which is probably why a lot of them are just getting thrown out again. Do they work? I'm sure they probably do, but you know, this is where it goes with Wi-Fi kit. You do get what you pay for. The TP-Link, the Netgear, with the external areas are going to perform way better than this, and obviously they're cheaper than this. Well, if you buy them from that lot, they are. So, yeah, this is literally someone buying in bulk. They're probably not buying from Wish. They could be, but generally with Wish, I found that you can go back to the actual suppliers fairly easy. We've got a couple of projects working with suppliers where we've customised the firmware on some items that are available on Wish and imposed some extra security and quality checks. So you can work with the suppliers. But again, you're looking at you see, this is, again, we're inconsistent. This is the most expensive one. Over here it's listed as the cheapest one. And then you compare $49.99 for that piece of bin fodder against $49.99 for a fairly decent TP-Link, and they've scored them all down. Runs out of stock occasionally. Feels a bit flimsy. Well, yeah, that's because it is flimsy, and you're charging sort of the best part of £45 more than you should be. reported not to be very long lasting. Compatibility issues. There's going to be no compatibility issues with that. I suspect all of these reviews are going to be fake. Connection is not always stable. Welcome to the world of Wi-Fi. Signal seems to drop occasionally. Compatibility issues. Again, there's going to be no compatibility issues. And again, welcome to the world of Wi-Fi. D-Link, not always reliable. We found D-Link kits fairly solid. Asus, might take time to install. Yet you're not mentioning up here that you've got to go through with a network cable and set this damn thing up. We won't talk to Belkin. Again, not so easy to set up. No, yours isn't. Lack of information. No less than yours. I've seen the manual, remember? And yeah, bulky design. Well, yes, it is, but it probably works a lot better. So, you know, if you didn't know anything better, you'd stumble on this, and it would be, oh yeah, they're wonderful. I've got to have them. I've never heard of them, but yeah. Anyway. Less blabbering. I'm going to make some space and we'll get one of these in. We'll have a look at the instructions. We might even try and set it up and we'll go from there. I'll speak to you in a second. So, here we go. Let's have a look and see what you get. Incidentally, we've got another one here. Still a no name, but this one was actually working. Right, well, that's on the floor now. So let's have a look. Incidentally, that's how it comes packed. So this is everything you'd expect from some cheap piece of electronics from China. You have multiple quite dodgy looking adapters. These just clip on here. He says. How do we get these on? Incidentally, I won't be plugging this in because I know it's crap. There we go, in eventually. So yeah, you get that. You get the world's nastiest network cable, and you can spot these a mile away because they've got nothing to them, and quite frequently. Now this one's actually got all the pins wired, but yeah, this is nasty stuff and it fails fairly quickly. Actually, this is a good one compared to some of the ones I've had. There you go, gone. Don't need those. And then we get the standard dodgy Chinese instructions. We've got German and English here actually. So let's have a look. Only use device for intended purpose. No, that's okay. To reset your Wi-Fi booster, yep. For wireless setup, please ensure you have the following, yeah. And then yes, it goes through how to set it up. And it's not wonderfully clear. It's not in English, which is handy. I was expecting. Unit may fail in warm in use. Unit may, oh for God's sake. Unit may feel warm when in use due to electrical current flow. Do not use if unit is wet, damp or has been submerged in water. Moisture may alter unit and result in defectiveness. Wonderful. We don't want any defectiveness, do we? Do not plug Ethernet cable into your booster. Okay. So yeah, it's probably a reasonable bit of kit. It will probably do what it's supposed to do. It complies with European Directives 1999 5EC. Wow, that's got to be good then. So, yeah, I played with it. I know how well it works. It's just a super cheap, horribly made Wi-Fi repeater, and you can see it is exactly the same one on Wish. So how do we get into this? I have a feeling this is going to be destructive. There's no screws there. Oh. That's destructive now. Let's grab some spudgers. Quite often with this kind of thing, where it's supposed to be some super secret proprietary technology, which is something that's been pulled off somewhere else, or it's dodgy rebranded Chinese tap, they will go to a reasonable amount of effort to make sure you can't get in, but it looks like it might not be the case. It's just clipped. There we go. Now what do you reckon? We should have a proper power supply in here. I don't suppose a dropper would be able to supply anything. So yeah, there's not much in here. It's all plastic clips. They're fairly beefy. Let me just zoom down a bit on this. So we have a single board, programming pins. It looks like it does actually have support for connectors. Reset switch, put another switch there as well. There's not really much to it. You've got two PCB antennas there. They're not going to be wonderful. There's provision for mounting something there. There's also provision for board actual PCB component type. Oh, shift everything. Aerials there. Who is? It's a MediaTek chipset. That's quite a well-liked Chinese one. So, and that leaves what looks like a half decently isolated power supply. Bet you it isn't. Let's get in there. I've not been working at my desk for the last couple of days, so don't necessarily have everything to hand. It looks like a two-part power supply. So with some of these, you've got a primary and then a secondary side split across two boards. That comes out quite easy. No, so oh yuck. Right, so first thing we've got is really horrible caps. Who are they made by? You know it's bad when no one's actually put their name to the caps. There's not even a logo on those. I don't recognise the logo on those. So this is just a very basic off-the-shelf switch mode power supply. So there's your fuse. That's all you get. Just a PCB trace fuse. It will fail, but you've got to remember there's well, if you go from what the plug's supposed to be able to handle, there's 13 amps there, but if you go from what most spring waves are, it's substantially more. That will go bang when it fails. So that comes in, that appears to just go through a diode. No, sorry, reading that wrong. Holy! Okay, so the fuse is on the output. All we've got on the input is an inrush limiting diode, inrush limiting resistor, straight to the bridge. So there is no, my God, this will go bang if it fails. It's almost tempting to make it go bang on purpose. But yeah, there's no fuse in here. You've got an inrush limiting resistor, which will probably potentially act as a fuse. That's on the live, but you are straight into the bridge rectifier. There is no filtering. There's very little in terms of safety on here. You've got very good isolation here. And it doesn't appear that there's any arrangement for feedback. Well, there might be a feedback winding up here. And then your power comes straight out through a diode, a couple of chunky low ASR caps, and out through the only fuse in the whole unit. So yeah, that is a fire starter. If you develop a major fault in here, assuming that that resistor doesn't die instantly, the whole thing is just going to heat up and heat up and heat up, and then of course it will melt. I very much doubt this is flame retardant. Let's make the workshop stink. Oh, that's what you're going to get if it overheats. So there's no flame retardants in there. Bend that over, I might stand a chance of putting it back together. Not that I really want to use it. You know what? That's going in the junk drawer. I might keep that board though. Do I want to power it up and see what... No, I really don't want to just even go near that. So there you go. Your £100 Wi-Fi booster that you bought from wherever is basically a large firelighter. That board may be worth poking around a little bit further. I do want to look into programming the MediaTek chipsets because they do turn up in all sorts of places. They're quite common in trackers and mobile phone devices. And this board may have some simple use as a repeater, but yeah, just go and buy the board, don't buy this crap. Anyway, thank you for watching, and catch up with you soon. Back again, because I realise this one's rather short. Let's try and get into the broken one. I'll zoom out just a little. Right, there appear to be no screws in this. I have partially managed to get it unclipped. Let's continue. This is a net plug version 200 UK. I have no idea where this one came from, and as I say, this one did work and it was doing the job it was supposed to be doing. How do we get into this? It does look like a slightly better built bit of kit, but obviously we're not setting the bar particularly high here compared to that last one. You know this is just going to end badly. Jam a screwdriver in it. This one's dead, so... Well, it feels like there is a screw in there somewhere. You know what? It's supposed to pull off. Oh, there goes my computer. Well, it's put together well, if nothing else. Compare this to how quickly we got into the Chinese one. Although this is probably still a Chinese one. I don't recognise LEA net plug. It's made in China, that's probably all we need to know. It really does not want to come apart. It's a great thing about dismantling something that is already quite broken. You're not necessarily worried about doing any real damage to it. It's solid. Sure, I checked for screws. Oh, not well enough apparently. There is a screw in. Hold on a second. Oh, hang on, might not have to. Why would you do that? I think it's sod's law that I don't have the Allen key I need. One moment please. I'm sorry, I've been off shot. We're in. So yeah, definitely much better built than the other one. It says we're in. We still can't get it out. I think it's just a case of get that out of the way. So yes, I have unfortunately bent this quite a bit, but we've obviously got a much better designed, better thought out product here. There's a lot of screening in the way. Let's just deal with the screening. So what have we got? We've got a mains power supply, which has input filtering. It has an actual fuse. And generally I don't see anything scary or particularly wrong there. It looks like, as I say, someone has put some attention into making sure that this thing might actually be safe. Oh, we can just clip those off. Okay. We have a heatsink here on the processor. So what we appear to have, oh god, I've done a number on that one. Power supply on this is dead, which is why it's here. So you've got your input filtering, you've got your common mode choke, then we're straight into the primary side of the power supply. We've got good separation. Let's just zoom you down a bit. So this is common on Chinese power supplies, that the separation on them is awful. Obviously on that last one it wasn't, but you've got good separation in this area around here. We've got space for provision for an LED along the bottom here. I don't know why you'd want that. And then you've got all your digital over here. The whole thing is run by a daughter board, and that is an Xtraboost chip, a Xtraboost Wi-Fi controller as well. Big chunk of RAM on here. I'm not seeing. Right, okay. This is actually a. Ooh, I think the problem might actually be that well toasted. What do I say to it? This is actually a power line adapter, not a Wi-Fi one, which is what we thought it was. Slightly different big kit. So somewhere in here, possibly on the common mode choke down there, is the coupling. There you go. There's a bit of high voltage stuff and isolation in here. So that's the coupling for your modem that talks over the power line. So yeah, not necessarily the same thing, but obviously you can see this is a much better quality bit of kit. We've got a Realtek chip down there. That is a 8021, and that's all there is to it. I mean, you'll have one of those will be pair, and one is reset. It doesn't actually tell you. But yeah, okay, different thing. I thought it was a Wi-Fi adapter. It's not. It's power line, but it's a good contrast in build quality. You saw how much I've had to go through to actually get into that, and the build quality of this thing is just so much better. So yeah, there's not much really in here to go down much of a teardown. This will, excuse me, almost certainly be a module that is off the shelf. Although it does say LEA, who are the manufacturer here, so maybe not. It might be that they use this in lots of different models. Got a space for what looks like an EEPROM down there, and some 7.4 series chip. There's a lot of extra options on here. We've got space for another crystal. Obviously we've got these LEDs down here. So yeah, there's also different versions of this. But anyway, just as a quick comparison to the Chinese rubbish.